I'm Dixie, and I want to tell you today 3 things that will change your life. And I'm going to tell you all 3 of those during this video, and I'm not going to try to sell you anything. If you're like me, it's probably easier to believe that I have 3 things that could change your life than that I'm not going to sell you anything. So I just ask you to watch the whole video. I promise you I'm not going to try to sell you anything. My motivation comes because my life has changed. And I wish that somebody would have told me some of these things a long time ago. So when I felt that way, I wish somebody had told me. I thought, I'm going to tell people. So that's what I'm trying to do. For me, these things, and I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, can go in any situation, any problem that you have, anything that's going on in your life that you don't feel great about. You can apply these 3 things, and it's going to change your life. It really will. For me, mine was being mentally unhealthy, and what that basically means is the way that I was thinking. I was depressed. I was very hard on myself. I wasn't happy. Struggled with a lot of just daily things, and so what I've found as I've started sharing this information is a lot of times when we have an issue, regardless of what it is. I mean, I hear it with alcoholism. I hear it with mental health. I hear it with your weight, different things like that. What I hear is people feel a lot of shame. We feel like there's something wrong with us, that we're defective and everybody else is okay, right? But not us. We've got something wrong with us. And it creates this really difficult dynamic that makes it hard for us to take steps, to do anything different. Another thing is, as I hear, we blame people. Well, if my parents would have been different, if my childhood would have been different, if this situation wouldn't have happened, we blame. For me, I felt like a victim. I felt like, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm completely helpless. These are the cards I was dealt, and my life just sucks. And that is a lie. It's not true. And the other thing that I found, and this was also true of me, is a lot of times we don't feel like we deserve any better. Maybe we've made some mistakes in our life. We've done things that we really regret, that we feel bad about. That we look at it and say, "What? This is what I get because I did that." And that was definitely one of my mentalities. I think another thing, and I'm learning this more and more as I meet other people. I don't know that I necessarily felt this way, but I definitely see it. Is that we feel entitled. We feel like we got wronged. We got the short straw. We were supposed to have good parents and a good life, and everything was supposed to go right, and we didn't get that, and so then we're frustrated, we're angry, we're upset, right? So the 3 things that I want to talk to you about. The very first one is taking ownership. And as crazy as it sounds, I didn't do this with my mental health. I did this in other areas. I had kids, and if they were struggling, I thought, they're my kids. I have to figure out what to do. If my car broke down, I didn't wait for somebody to come and fix it. I took the steps to make sure I got it fixed. If it was my house, if there was something water leaking in my house, I didn't sit on the floor and cry and say, geez, somebody should come and fix this. I took the steps. But when it came to my mental health, when it came to my issue, I wanted someone else to fix it. I didn't take ownership of it. I didn't say, hey, this is my life. This is my heart, my mind, my soul. This is mine, and I have to do something about it. I really did look to everyone else. And I think, you could apply this in all those different situations. If it's alcoholism, if it's obesity, if it's poverty, if it's any of those different things, if you look at it and say, this is my problem. No one else is going to come in and fix it. It's mine. I got to own this. That's the step 1. That's the most important one that's going to make anything else happen, right? We have to take that step first. The second step is, I would say, start. One step can change the momentum. One step can change the course of your life. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have it figured out, but you could take one step. I think that there's hundreds of different ways that you can do this. And for me, what I did is I got on YouTube. Love YouTube. I started going through different videos, trying to find, and I was Googling, what does mentally healthy look like? How do you get past depression? All these different things. And, and it wasn't like an instant fix, but I started looking, I started reading, I started, basically I knew this was my problem and I needed to do something about it. I needed to figure it out. I must figure it out is basically the attitude that I took. I've got to figure this out because I can't continue down the path I'm going on. Like I said, I read books. I started to develop different exercises that I was doing, things that I would take from different places all over and say, I'm going to try that. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to see if this helps me. And it was great. There is not one right way. There's not only one way to lose weight. There's not one way to stop drinking. There's not one way to change your mental health. There's hundreds of them. But if you take that step, this is mine, I'm going to figure this out, and you start looking, you start doing things, start finding things that are going to help you, that you're going to feel a switch. You're going to feel something change within you, that you all of a sudden you have hope that things can get better. And maybe I don't have the answer today, but I'm going to find it and I'm going to keep looking. The third thing is for me, this one is key, is practice, practice, practice. When you want to learn how to ride a bike, when you want to learn how to play the piano, when you want to run a marathon, any of those things, it takes practice. You have to keep doing these things over and over and over again before you get good at them. We don't expect somebody to sit down at a piano the first time and just be able to play. You don't expect that. So don't expect that with this kind of stuff either. When you want to make a change, you've taken that ownership. You said, this is my problem. I'm going to do something about it, and you start looking. It doesn't cost anything. They're all absolutely free. These are just things that you're doing internally that are going to change your life. You may, like for me, one of the things I started is I hired a coach. I said, I don't know what to do. Maybe somebody else has some answers that can help me. They have an outside perspective that will help. I've had counselors in the past, different things that I've tried to say, okay, I need some help. I need somebody to work with me on this. So it's not wrong to reach out, but recognize it's not their problem. They're not going to go home at night and feel what you're feeling. They're not going to be struggling with the emotions that you're feeling. It's you. You're the one who has this. So yes, use different resources, whatever it takes to make those changes. But then look at each one of those things that you glean. For me, I started listening, and I was Googling, like I said, and going on YouTube. And when I heard like Anthony Robbins' story, he came from a crappy life too. He had, his mom in different situations, and he was broke, and he failed, and he did all those things. But then look where he is today. Oprah Winfrey, another one of those. I was like, wait a minute. I've always felt like, well, if I had all these things in place, then yeah, of course I'd have a great life. But then I started seeing all these people who didn't have a great life either. She had a really difficult childhood, a really difficult beginning to her life, but look where she is now. Over and over, Mel Robbins and Lisa Williams, and there's hundreds of them, hundreds of examples of this very thing. And every day on LinkedIn or YouTube, I see more people who've basically said, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to take ownership of my life, and I'm going to start making changes. And usually when we start, we don't know what the heck we're doing, but we can keep practicing. We can keep getting better. We can keep finding things. So I just really encourage you to do that. For me, I think, looking at it like routines, patterns, actions that you're taking, anything like that, and give yourself the grace, give yourself the patience to just keep practicing. If something helps you even a little bit, maybe reading a book or watching a YouTube or, doing exercises. There's some different mental exercises. I have some videos out there that talk about that. If something helps you, keep doing it. Do it every day. Look at it like life or death, and just keep practicing. Give yourself some patience. And, I really appreciate you watching. Hope you have an awesome day.